Last week, I explained how to use PuTTY to connect to a shared hosting, dedicated hosting, your own Linux computer, or your own Linux device like a Raspberry Pi. And this week, I'll be explaining terminal commands to make your life simple if you like working inside of the terminal itself. So if you want to go retro with basically command line, this is the episode that is going to be focused on that. So let's start off by going to the terminal. So from the terminal, we got a bunch of things that we can do, and we want to at least acknowledge the very basic things that you will need in order to be able to do anything. So the first thing we need to learn is how to figure out what files are accessible to us right then and there. In Windows, it would be dir. While in Linux, it's list, ls. So you click ls, and here are all of the files. Okay, that is good. So we have that. But we're more interested in, say, the files inside of downloads. Well, it's actually the same thing as Windows. You go cd and then the name of the folder. Just keep in mind that in Linux, it is actually case sensitive. So cd downloads with the capital D. And now we're in there. And let's say we're done inside here. We want to go back. We go cd space double dot, and then we have gone back. That's all fine and dandy. It's very basic, but this is something that most people should be able to figure out by themselves. But let's say you need a new directory. So you go make directory. So mkdir, and then name the directory, let's say new. Here's proof. It is there under music. Let's say we regret our decision of making that new folder. rm, so remove dir, new, and then check again, and you see that directory is now gone. By the way, you can use cp to copy files itself as well. You can use mv to move files as a command, and of course you can use chmod, or what is known as change mod, and that will have you be able to change the permissions of file, which is especially important if you're trying to run a file on a web server. And I don't really need to show these because I'm going to show you something after that that will make life easier. But the first thing that we should acknowledge is the fact that there are two different modes in here, and we're basically running in normal user mode, and we have super user mode that is available to us inside a terminal. You normally access this command by command by using sudo, so super user do. But here's a neat shortcut for anybody that needs to do a bunch of super user commands. You go sudo space su, and that allows you to just remain inside of the super user do mode itself. And when you're done, you click exit. By the way, notice how the screen's getting full? The command is very simple. It is clear. So let's clear the terminal. From this point, we have access to things like wget. Wget allows us to download files from the internet. So it would look like this. And then download it and save it onto our computer. We also have access to ping, which is useful if you have an internet problem. You can figure out if it's local or it's related to your internet. So let's say we'll ping my server, ping.tqaweekly.com. We notice that we are now connected to the internet, so there's no problem here. If you want to stop this, you go Control Z, and if you want to clear the screen again, you just go and click clear. I went over a bunch of commands and I didn't explain a bunch of them. So let's go through some of them. So let's say you wanted to learn how to copy files. Well, because I didn't explain it, you wouldn't know what to do. Or would you? Well, the next command is called manual. So man, and let's say you wanted to actually copy files. Well, the copy command is cp. So you go manual for copy. And it gives you all the information that you need in order to be able to do that. And of course, you can just click the commands that it says at the screen in order to exit. If you need something else, maybe how to move a file, you go man mv for move the file, and you got all the information as well all of the flags actually mean. And that gives you most of the control that you should be able to use regardless of where you are. So shared hosting, dedicated hosting, your own computers or devices. And that's basically what it will give you, and that's it. But here's the thing. Those commands are super basic and can be applied anywhere. But let's say you're on your own device and you actually need more access to different applications. Let's say you're missing one. So what you would do is super user do apt-get, install is the command, and then the name of the program that you want. So let's use finger. Finger is a command that's available to us in Linux. Then when we click it, it goes and gets all the files that we need to update or install if they're or not already installed. Then we also have another command that's useful to do, and it's probably better to do it before trying to install anything. It's called update. So you do this by going super user do apt-get updates. So what this is going to do is it's going to give us the super user root access, use the apt-get dependency database, and update it so that we can actually install all the latest stuff. And all you do is click enter and it will update everything as it needs to. Of course, I've already done this today, so it's really fast. And once this is done, you can do other things such as distro upgrade. And this doesn't mean that you're going to move from one distribution number to another. So you're not going to be moving from, let's say, Ubuntu 13.04 to 13.10. That's not what this is going to do. What it will do is allow you to do all of the latest updates to your operating system. So apt-get, so sudo apt-get distro upgrade. That is what the command looks like. You click enter, it goes and gets some of the information that you need. We don't have to do any, so it's not going to do anything else. The command that you actually have to use to allow you to move from one version of Linux to the next is actually sudo do release, and then upgrade, which I won't do. And that allows you to actually move, let's say, from Ubuntu 13.04 to Ubuntu 13.10 and do all of the updates that it has to. That is the actual command that you would use to move from one to the next, and not the actual distro upgrade, which just updates everything within that distribution itself. And that's all fine and dandy, but there are two other commands that would be very simple and very easy for you to do. So the first one is something that is useful for anybody that needs to remotely reboot anything. So sudo reboot. We're not going to do that because we want to actually show you the next commands. But if you press enter right now, then what that would give you is a time in which normally it's a minute or two, that it's going to actually reboot the system itself and allow you to basically reinitialize everything. So if you're having problems with the server or something that you're the owner of, or it's a dedicated host, you could technically do this. You could also do this remotely onto your own devices and or computer. But there's also this other thing of, let's say you're done with something like your Raspberry Pi and you want to actually shut it down. Well, it's sudo super user do shut down with the -r flag, and let's say you want to do it now. That's the command, and this is what it does. Disconnects you if you're connected remotely and just turns off all of your clients. So I hope you actually learned something from that. So like this episode if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, share with those that you think can benefit from this, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can get all of the show notes, the sources to all of the information, as well as even join the mailing list. And of course, if you actually register to the website, you will also benefit from an ad-free experience. So thank you for watching and goodbye.